these kids just jumped in. Did you see that? There was an adult with them. I hope they're all together, because that is moving really fast. Good morning from Switzerland's capital city of Bern. Today I'm on my own instead of doing a tour. I am following an outlined walking tour from the Rick Steves Guide to Switzerland. So come along with me and let's see the sights of Bern. This is Heilig Geist Kirche, or Holy Ghost Church. And it is made with sandstone, which is found abundantly around here. And because it's porous and it erodes so easily, the city makes all of the buildings have these oversized eaves. And even newer buildings that aren't built with the sandstone have oversized eaves to blend in with the older buildings. And the chime is going off right now. This is one of Bern's 11 historical and colorful fountains. They were commissioned in the 14th century, and they're Bern's trademark, and they were commissioned so that they would brighten up the city, which was very dull and gray at the time because it was all made of the same sandstone, and also to remind citizens of their heroes and historical figures. And last but certainly not least, to show off Bern's wealth. So this is just the first, and this one's called the Bagpiper. As you can see, the trams run very frequently here. I found a Müller on Spittelgasse. This is my favorite store in Germany. It's kind of a hodgepodge of everything. I'd say it's like a miniature Walmart back home. This is Bern's city coat of arms, and notice the two bears. The bears are the city symbol. And at the end of this walking tour, we're going to be in a park where there's going to be some live bears. This is Bern's Parliament House, and if you look at the statuary up on the top, the three women, the standing one in the middle represents political independence, and the one on the left represents freedom, and the one on the right represents peace. This building to the left of Parliament is the Swiss National Bank. And unfortunately it's undergoing renovation, so it's covered in scaffolding right now. This is the equivalent of Switzerland's Fort Knox, and half of their gold store is here, the other half is in Zurich, and there are vaults all under this square here that hold the gold. There are 26 of these squirt fountains. In a minute I think they're all going to be going at the same time. But 26 is significant because it's the number of cantons in Switzerland, and a canton is the equivalent to a state in America. So that gives you an idea. Switzerland's a fairly small country, both in area and in population. So now I'm walking around to the back side of the Parliament, and I think we're going to get a look at the river. So here's our first look at the river that runs through Bern. It's called the Aare, or R. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. It's A-A-R-E. And you can see the homes up there on the hillside. This is the back of the Parliament building, so they have a beautiful view from back here. So I'm going to walk all the way across this bridge to the other end, and then I'm going to go back on the other side and follow Rick Steve's route. But I wanted to show you the view from both sides because it's quite different. And also, there's a nice cool breeze going across this bridge, and I was getting pretty hot. So far, I'm really loving the city of Bern. It's very pretty. It seems a little less metropolitan to me than Zurich. More historic buildings. I don't know that that's necessarily true. It has an older feel to it. I really like it. It's not quite as big as Zurich population-wise either, even though it's the capital. So now I'm far enough over where you can see there's a definite water control system. It looks like they have several gates that they can open or close as needed. I don't know anything about this system. I don't know if it's similar to the one in Lucerne or not. Looks like it from here, but I'm just not sure. But what a pretty view. Okay, I have no explanation for that. This is the main clock tower here in Bern. It marked the first gate into the city. These were all the different regional units of measure that used to be used. And it wasn't until Napoleon came that everybody started using the metric system that they still use today. There's the symbol of the bear again. You find him a lot in this city, on flags and everything. This is the Kramgasse, which is the major shopping street here, and there's an arcade on both sides of the streets. There's all kinds of stores, and every now and then you'll find one of the cellars that, like this one, that has been turned into a store. These cellars were originally used for storage of goods. That one's a hair salon, but now they stored things like wine and grains and all that kind of stuff underneath it, but now they're not used for that anymore. Primarily, some of them are still storage. Here's one that's probably still used for storage. It's has not been turned into a store. And here's another one of the city's fountains. This one is a bear dressed as a soldier with a baby bear underneath him. It's interesting. And here is the Einstein House. This is where he lived with his wife and family when he came up with his famous theory of relativity, right here in Bern. I'm betting these are original wood stairs here in this old apartment building. So beginning in the 14th century, the city started to construct this platform using pieces of old buildings that they found around the city. And apparently archaeologists have even found some heads of statues included. So they just recycled everything, and it's made a beautiful little park overlooking the river. Walk over here, you can see some residences and the river, garden. So this is the Bern Cathedral. Like I said, it's the highest cathedral in all of Switzerland. And it was built in the 15th century. It was originally a Catholic cathedral, but it was then turned into a Protestant cathedral. And because the Protestants did not believe in worshiping idols and that kind of thing, they basically stripped down the inside and made it much more stark and plain, and took away all the opulence. And so I haven't gone inside yet. I'm not sure if it's open today, but I'm going to go around and take a look. Well, I went inside the church, but no pictures were allowed, so I'll just tell you about it. It was definitely very stark, not like the Catholic cathedrals that you see in Europe. It was very gray. About the only color in there is in the stained glass windows. I would have loved to have seen it when it was more Catholic, so to speak, but it was worth going in to see, just to see the difference in that versus some of the Catholic cathedrals that I've seen all over Europe. So now I'm going to walk down and take a few more pictures and videos from different vantage points overlooking the river. So I've walked down through the city, the old part, and we're now crossing the river again. This is the same river. It has quite a bend here in Bern, so we're crossing it again. As you can see, there are a lot of people down there swimming. It's a good day for it, let me tell you. It is hot here. And over here on the left of the bridge is this pretty little church that sits on the side of what used to be the town castle. And then down below are all these pretty residences. Nice quiet little residential street, but they're all right here on the river. I mean, it's just so beautiful and picturesque everywhere you look here. Look at those beautiful houses up there. And that small bridge down there is the oldest bridge in town. And until 1844, it was the... Oh, those kids just jumped in. Did you see that? Oh my gosh, they're crazy. That's a fast-moving river. Anyway, until 1844, it was the only bridge crossing this river. So it was the only way to get across the river in town. And there they go downstream. Gosh. There was an adult with them. I hope they're all together, because that is moving really fast. And right there, all my chocolate loving friends, is the original Lindt chocolate factory. You can still see the word chocolate across the side of the wall. So right here, in that little building in Bern, Switzerland, is where it all started. Lindt chocolate. So as I said, the bear is the symbol of Bern. And they used to have wild bears. Well, they weren't wild. They used to have bears in this tiny little place until humane groups got after them about it. So now we're going to go see where they house the bears today. So now they have a more natural environment here along the river. They're kind of hanging out in the shade today, like the rest of us are trying to do, because it's very hot. Oh, here comes one. Hello, bear.
Hi, legal.
And if you're up here in the bear park and you want to go down to the riverfront, there's a small little funicular there, which goes up and down this very steep hill, so you don't have to do the steps. Look at that pretty old city perched up there on the hill, the big bridge. What a beautiful scene.